Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to a new TEW2020 video. Somehow, some way, we've made it all the way to Blood and Guts 8, which is crazy that this is the 8th installment of this pay-per-view, or this event. Well, not a pay-per-view of course. Massive main event, which of course is the Blood and Guts match. We also have the women's Blood and Gut match, and I'm really looking forward to, as I say, a few things that set up in motion for where we're looking to go for Double or Nothing last year. We opted for the main event of Deonna Purrazzo retaining the TBS Championship over Mayu Iwatani in a 30-minute Iron Woman match. As I say, we have went with the gory match this year, so hopefully it delivers. But storyline perspective, it makes sense. Both of them this year are 5-on-5. You can see last year we had a 4v4. So we'll see how the card unfolds. We'll explain a few things along the way. There was a TV title change, I'll add that before we start, and it basically saw the team of Tyler Black and Jon Moxley lose the AEW World Tag Team Championships via distraction by, of course, Hangman Page and Adam Cole, as they were distracted in a triple threat match that involved the Lucha Brothers and, of course, the new champions, Aussie, oi oi oi, Aussie Open, your tag team champion. So a little surprise title change on television, but as I say, I just felt like I didn't want to have the tag titles not defended at bigger events, and obviously the plans I've got for Mox and Tyler. I felt like it was good to get them an accolade, but at the same time good for them to lose the belts as well. So sit back, relax, we'll explain everything along the way, but this is Blood and Guts for 2028. So we are in the Beaver Stadium yet again. It just seems to be the stadium that feels is best for his attendance wise, over 100k as always, and we start off with the women's War Games match, or the Blood and Guts match as we should be calling it in AEW, and only got a 75. I think the injury to Liviana Morgan has hampered that, but we had the babyfaces prevail here: Veronica, Roxy C. Perez, Deonna Purrazzo, Mayu Iwatani and Jamie Hayter, as they tackled the team and defeated the team of Mercedes Moné, Trinity Star, Marvelous Maddie, Liviana Morgan and Demi Bennett in 2004 in the 5v5 women's War Game match, when Roxy submitted Trinity. Mayu was head and shoulders above the rest, with Marvelous Maddie as the weak link. So how did we get to this point? Well, obviously we've had the big feud. Veronica's been taking on Mercedes at various points, and of course her faction includes Trinity Star, Marvelous Maddie and Liviana Morgan. Roxy was kicked out from the group. She is now back babyface. She's really getting over, which is good. She's into the 70s now, so hopefully we can help develop her. I feel putting her with Veronica is good. It's a combination of skill alongside Veronica's high psychology. Deonna and Mayu are former women's tag team champions, so they were a good pick, especially all being on the Dynamite brand. And when the heels resorted to the former women's champion, the big muscle of the group, Demi Bennett, it only made sense that the babyface version for the other team be, of course, Jamie Hayter. So good experience for all them. 75 is a wee bit disappointing. I was kind of hoping we could hit the 80s, but I think the live injury probably takes that down a few notches. Mercedes there with 82, Mayu in 92. A couple of good 70 performances in there, obviously Demi with 80 as well. But it was a nice wee victory there, and Roxy gets a wee bit of revenge there, as you can see, with the submission victory over Trinity Star. Thanks, Steve. Next up, I had the 0x Championship on the line. Ricochet, a two-time champion, went to go for number 3 against Collision's Lee Moriarty. And here we had a good matchup, with Lee defeating Ricochet in 12:59 with submission victory. It was the joint custody finishing manoeuvre, giving Lee Moriarty his second defence of the 0x Championship. A 78 here. Lee is maybe turning face. I'm on the fence whether I'm going to go with that one. Unfortunately, the declining physical ability of Ricochet, the long time out with the rehab, has pretty much took him from being an elite talent to, as MJF would say, mid. Then had some words backstage from Mercedes Moné, and she is furious after the Blood and Guts match. She just says, "Oh, Roxy's finally got her big revenge. Well, this is it. Enough is enough. You want to face me, you can get me. Double or Nothing, Roxy Perez versus Mercedes Moné." Simple, good build towards that, and a 74 promo for Mercedes. Then moved on to a matchup for the AEW International Championship, and these two had never battled before, which I found crazy. And Absolute Ricky Starks did defeat Pac in a non-title matchup on Dynamite. Let's say I did it once and I'll do it again. So they had the matchup here. Ricky basically had a change in his physique, which boosted his star power effectively, allowed his popularity cap to be broken, which has enabled him. Because I feel his skills are not particularly great in this one, technically, so I felt like, that's an opportunity, we can actually push him again. And a superb matchup saw absolute Ricky Starks defeat Pac in 14-10 with the Buster Keaton, meaning that Ricky Starks is your international champion. 81 is pretty good stuff there, and even into his 40s, Pac is still bringing a 90 rated performance. And absolute Ricky Starks celebrates after the matchup, poses, does that usual pose that he does, and it is a 70 rated segment. We then had the Queen of AEW Championship on the line. Now this is our women's title on Collision. Steph Delander is the reigning champion, and the latest person to challenge her has been someone building a great run of momentum, and that is Utami Hayashida. Hope that's how it's pronounced. But anyway, these two had a great wrestling match with good heat, and Steph Delander defeated Utami in 13:06 with the TKO flatliner. This gave her the 4th defense of the AEW Queen of AEW Championship. So, for those of you that don't know, it's the former Queen of FCW Championship. We've basically bought it over and renamed it. But it's just seemed to be a building block and launching so many people for good careers on Rampage and Dynamite. The latest, of course, being Steph. But they build up here, there's some sick matches, and then they move on to the other two brands. So, an 81, Lucky Psychology probably cost it from being an 82, 83. But good stuff there, and Steph continues her run. We then had a little backstage segment. Basically here, El Generico has been absolutely destroyed. He has been laid out, and this gives us an 85 rated segment. So as I said in the last video, the matchup planned to be Generico, Steen, MGF, Hangman Adam Page and Adam Cole against FTR, Tyler Black, John Moxley and Roman Anoa'i. Basically Generico, because of his morals, wouldn't take part in the matchup, so we've had him beat up. It does lead to a long-term storyline good that can help tie it into that, the way I was wanting to go. But yeah, it means that the babyfaces need a new partner. That'll be announced later on in the show, and that's an 85 rated segment. So a bit lucky that we've came to that. This one I thought was going to do really, really well. So basically I had a random matchup on Rampage, which was Mayu versus Konami, which was outstanding. I think they got even higher than 91. My plan was to go Courtney versus Killer Kelly, with the potential to put the belt on Courtney. She was gaining momentum, but at the last minute I decided, let's merge them together, let's have a fatal 4-way to see if it can deliver, and all 4 ladies have delivered an absolute spectacle. So here we had a superb wrestling match with good heat, and from the Rampage Women's Division, Killer Kelly defeats Konami, Courtney Dawn and Mayu Yamashita in 11:34 when Killer Kelly submitted Konami. It's her second defence of the Shine Championship, a fantastic matchup, and CM Punk can be proud of his protege here in the form of Killer Kelly. Excellent stuff. Speaking of CM Punk, he then goes into his next client, and that is the man that is going to be challenging for the AEW Collision Championship, hoping to prize it away from Keith Lee, and it's just basically CM Punk building up Matty Wahlberg before Matty has some words and verbal digs at Keith Lee. 87. Who is he though? He is Keith Lee, he is limitless, and he makes his first defence of the Collision Championship in a retaining effort, and a match that had great heat and good wrestling. Keith Lee defeats Matty Wahlberg in 12:02 with the Spirit Bomb. Solid enough matchup, good stuff for Collision, and yeah, back to the drawing board for CM Punk. But then on a tag match for the Tag Team Championships, as I said, Aussie as your new Tag Team Champions, and they were defending against the former champions, the Lucha Brothers. And here we had a superb wrestling match with good heat that saw Aussie Open defeat the Lucha Bros in 14:01 when Kyle Fletcher pinned Ray Phoenix with the Tombstone Piledriver, giving him his second defence of the tag belts. These two teams brought a sensational performance, and 85 was a segment rating. This of course took a bit of a penalty because of psychology, so you probably could have saw that in maybe the low 80s, high 80s, low 90s maybe. It's 4 good performances there. Phoenix with 95 is incredible. Best thing I did was bring him back in this save, and I think that's the way we'll go with Starlight Kid. But yeah, great stuff there, and yeah, good stuff in the tag division. And then we had a draw. I needed something for Walter, I needed something for Takeshita. The two of them just basically eyeing each other up on Dynamite to see who is the better professional wrestler. and it only made sense that about they had sensational wrestling and fantastic heat, saw Takeshita draw with Walter in 30 minutes when the time limit expired. A 93-95 performance for Takeshita, 96 for Walter. I think you lose points for a draw, if I'm right in saying. Nope, just the way it's rolled. Basically, the plan was, like, I don't want to leave them off the card, but at the same time, I want them to go to Double or Nothing. So I'm hoping to do some sort of Iron Man or 2 out of 3 falls match at the pay-per-view in May, the big one. So a draw here, but it pretty much sets us up for that feud going forward. Then a little backstage segment. It's just basically Hangman, Adam Cole, MJF and Kevin Steen trying to get a hold of a tag team partner. They say they've got an idea and they're away to contact someone. That's the 76. That will be revealed just before the main event. We then had a sensational matchup for the AEW World Championship. The men's Face of the Revolution winner was, of course, Swerve, and he took on Will Ospreay. In this one, there was no dancing halfway through the match, but it was a good, superb wrestling match with great heat, and Will Ospreay defeated Swerve Strickland in 1901 with the Stormbreaker, giving Ospreay his third defence of the AEW World Championship. 95 and a 91 brought an 89 rated segment. So yes, Ospreay will be going into Double or Nothing as your World Champion. Who is going to step up? Well, it might be time for a brand new era, as the Switchblade era could possibly begin. But it is Switchblade Jay White who says, "I went on this great run, great victory over Okada at Revolution, and you know what, Ospreay, you're next. We're going to reignite that feud from New Japan, and your main event for Double or Nothing is going to be Will Ospreay, Jay White for the AEW World Championship." Cheap 100 rated segment, that was the aim, but as I say, sets up that for Double or Nothing. It's weird that I'm actually booking with the next pay-per-view in mind. How many times have I done that before? Not as much as I should be. Then moved on to the matchup for the AEW Women's World Championship. Anna Jay was, of course, the women's face of the Revolution ladder match winner. She challenged Elena Black, and we had a bit of a shocker here, as Anna Jay decides to win. I felt like it was a good opportunity to go for a bit of a surprise change. I didn't want both Face the Revolution winners to lose. So I thought, like, Anna Jay's been developing fantastically. Ironically, as a poor performance here and off her game. But she wins in 12:41 with the scissors kick. New AEW World Champion. And I felt like after the long reign of Veronica, it was probably worth maybe moving the title about a little bit. Elena's benefited from the win over Veronica. Anna Jay will then benefit, and then others as well down the line. But at 77, it keeps the women's division open and allows me to have many, many plans and options for Double or Nothing. And she celebrates after it, which gets an 80 rated segment. We then find out the surprise fifth man with an elaborate entrance to join Adam Cole, Hangman Page, MJF and Kevin Steen is going to be Kazuchika Okada. I panicked and just went for Okada, basically. And your main event, the 5-on-5 men's ladder blood and guts match. Will it deliver? Will it flop? I think it'll be that good, because 5-on-5 stipulation matches tend not to do too well here. And this one actually delivered. This one could be considered a classic, with it being a 91 rated segment. And we're about here with superb wrestling and great heat. And it was the team of Hangman, Adam Page, Adam Cole, MJF, Kazuchika Okada, and Kevin Steen who defeated Roman Anoa'i, John Moxley, Tyler Black, and of course Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler in a 5-on-5 blood and guts matchup in 25 minutes when MJF submitted Dax Harwood. So a 91 for your main event there. Key performances: Roman Anoa'i in a 96, Tyler Black was 86, John Moxley 93, Okada was a 96, MJF was a 93, and the weakest ones there were of course FTR, but they usually get a boost when it's just a tag match, which is understandable, and are on a bit of a physical decline. But the babyfaces finally prevail over the heels here, and the show itself will give us a 99. If only our main event was a little bit stronger, but still absolutely sensational. Shame we couldn't add that to the 100 list of shows, but yeah, I'm really happy with that across the board. There's a lot of light blues, especially in terms of matches, and I'd say it's a really encouraging, especially for a women's division, having the 91 with, as I say, Killer Kelly Konami, Courtney Dunn and Mayu Yamashita. So I'm just going to confirm a few things that are coming up for the main event and various other stuff at Double or Nothing. So I said to you, Will Ospreay, Jay White will main event for the World Championship. That's fine. That's confirmed. That will be there. Takeshita versus Walter in some sort of spectacular wrestling match. The greatest wrestling match ever, maybe. We are also going to see MJF eventually challenge Roman Anoa'i for a one-on-one match because he won this. So they'll finally do battle. And as I say, we'll have El Generico versus whoever attacked him. We'll find out how that'll be. What else did I confirm we're going to see? And of course, Mercedes against Roxy. And of course, there will be various other matches that I'll put together over the course of the 4 weeks of booking to Double or Nothing. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. What do you think? I'm actually booking stuff in advance. It's crazy. But as I say, hope you enjoyed it. As I say, a thumbs up deeply appreciated. Any comments, let me know how you're getting on with your own saves. And until next time, take it easy. Check out the Fancy Bookers subreddit, the Grey Dog Software forums. And I'll see you next week for Double or Nothing. Bye bye.